Welcome back, everyone. If you've been following the twists and turns in Salem lately, you know one thing for sure: no secret stays buried forever. And in the latest episode of Days of Our Lives, airing May 13th, Kat Green's life just took a dark and unexpected turn, all thanks to a single phone call. A voice from her past is trying to drag her back into the shadows, and she's doing everything she can to resist. But what if resistance isn't enough? Let's break down what happened, who may be behind this call, and what it could mean for Kat and the rest of Salem. It seemed like just another routine moment at the hospital. Kat Green was moving through her day, composed, professional, seemingly in control. But then her phone rang, and everything changed. She froze as soon as she saw the number. Her entire demeanor shifted, eyes narrowed, jaw clenched, and for a brief moment, she stood motionless. Before answering, Kat glanced around the hallway, subtly scanning her surroundings to make sure no one was watching. That quick, cautious look told us everything. Kat wasn't just irritated by this call, she was hiding it. When she finally picked up, there was no warmth in her voice, no casual tone. Just cold frustration. "Yes, I got your messages. All 10 of them," she snapped. Then she followed it with a line that clearly marked her boundaries. "I assumed by my non-response that you'd get the picture. But let me spell it out, I am not interested. Stop calling me." With that, she hung up, quick and decisive. But even though the call ended, the damage wasn't over. Kat didn't relax. She didn't move on with her day. Her shoulders stayed tense, her eyes kept darting, and her breath was just slightly unsteady. This wasn't just some annoying call, it was the kind of contact that rattled her. And whatever it was about, Kat clearly knows that it's far from over. So now the big question: who was on the other end of that call? Who has Kat Green looking over her shoulder and on edge in the middle of a hospital hallway? One thing's for certain, it wasn't Clyde Weston. We've seen how Kat reacts when Clyde's name comes up, and her reaction here was completely different. If it had been Clyde, she wouldn't have been snippy, she would have been terrified. Let's not forget, he blackmailed her into doing his dirty work before falling into a coma. But this caller didn't scare Kat. They frustrated her, and that subtle difference is huge. Her tone wasn't fearful, it was annoyed, exhausted. She wasn't dreading the person on the line, she was fed up with them. That suggests this mystery caller is someone from her past, someone who's been persistently trying to get her attention, and who likely wants something from her. Kat clearly wants nothing to do with them, but her anxious reaction after the call proves that whatever this person wants, it's not something she can just ignore. So, who fits that profile? One possibility is Leo Stark. He's been hovering around the E.J. DiMera shooting investigation and might think Kat holds information he can use. Leo's known for his persistence and his talent for dragging people into schemes they didn't ask for. If he believes Kat can help him solve the whodunit, he might be making those calls, pushing buttons, sending messages, and refusing to back off until he gets what he wants. But there's another theory gaining traction, one that's darker and more calculated. What if this call is part of Gwen Riichek's return? Yes, Gwen. The con artist. The manipulator. The chaos architect. She's set to return to Days of Our Lives this July, and what better way to kick off her re-entry than by laying the groundwork through a secretive string of calls? Let's not forget, Kat once posed as Gwen's half-sister, impersonating Abigail Devereaux, a move that certainly crossed Gwen's radar. But instead of being offended, Gwen might actually admire Kat's nerve. In Gwen's world, a good scheme earns respect. So what if she's been watching Kat all along? What if she's reaching out now, not to expose her, but to recruit her? If Gwen is behind the calls, it would explain everything: the relentless messages, the casual manipulation, and Kat's growing anxiety about being caught. Gwen doesn't just drop into town, she engineers her way in. And Kat might be her first piece on the chessboard. If that's true, then Kat is on the edge of something much bigger than she realizes. She may think she can shut this down with a simple, "Stop calling me," but if Gwen's behind this, the game is just beginning. Among fans, one theory is gaining momentum, and it's one that could set the stage for a truly explosive summer. Many believe that this mysterious phone call is actually the opening move in Gwen Riichek's return to Salem. Yes, Gwen, the cunning con artist, the unapologetic manipulator, and the queen of elaborate schemes. She's scheduled to return to Days in July, but what if the writers are already laying the groundwork? What if this phone call is the first domino in a much bigger plan? The connection between Gwen and Kat isn't just speculation, it's personal history. Let's not forget, Kat once posed as Gwen's half-sister, impersonating the late Abigail Devereaux. That's not a move Gwen would have missed. But here's the twist. What if Gwen wasn't insulted by Kat's audacity? What if she was impressed? In Gwen's world, deception is an art form. And Kat proved herself capable of playing the game. So maybe Gwen doesn't see Kat as a threat, but as a potential ally. A fellow schemer. Someone who could help execute her next great plan, one that's so bold, so unexpected, that Salem won't even see it coming. The idea is chilling and fascinating. Because if Gwen is truly behind this call, then the question isn't just what does she want, it's how far will she go to get it? And whether Kat is ready or not, she may already be in the game. For now, Kat's resisting. She's holding the line, but how long before that resistance cracks? After hanging up the phone, Kat tried to shake it off. But her face said everything her words didn't. She wasn't just annoyed, she was rattled. Her eyes lingered too long on the hallway. Her steps were too careful. And the energy around her shifted from irritation to full-blown anxiety. There's clearly more going on than she's letting anyone see. So what's really happening inside her head? It could be blackmail. Maybe the caller is threatening to drag up old secrets, her past impersonations, her ties to Clyde, or something even darker. Kat's been walking a fine line for months, trying to rebuild her image, to present herself as someone who's changed. But in Salem, the past doesn't just haunt you, it haunts you. Then again, this might not be about fear at all. It might be about temptation. Because no matter how much Kat wants to move on, part of her still remembers the thrill. The power. The way lies could bend reality. And if Gwen, or someone like her, is offering money, leverage, or a way back into the inner circles of influence, can Kat really walk away? And let's not forget the emotional wildcard in this, Chad DiMera. If Chad finds out Kat has been keeping secrets again, especially if it involves Gwen or anything tied to the DiMera family, it could blow up everything she's tried to rebuild. He's been patient, even protective at times, but everyone has a limit. And Kat knows it. So she's stuck, torn between two paths. One promises peace, stability, and redemption. The other is risky, dangerous, but maybe, just maybe, offers her a sense of purpose she can't find anywhere else. The question now isn't just who's calling Kat. The real question is, which version of Kat will answer? The truth is, Kat is standing on the edge of a cliff. On one side is the life she's trying to build, the fresh start, the quiet stability, the new alliances she's slowly formed in Salem. On the other side, a slippery slope back into the shadows. Lies, schemes, the kind of chaos she swore she'd never be part of again. But when you're in Salem, the past has a nasty way of circling back. If the mystery caller is Gwen, then Kat is being offered a seat at the table of manipulation, and she may not even realize it yet. But what happens if she accepts? What kind of damage could two women like Gwen and Kat do if they're aligned? And even more importantly, what happens if she refuses? Because if Gwen is behind this, rejection doesn't end the conversation. It escalates it. Gwen doesn't take no for an answer. She twists the board. She changes the game. And suddenly, Kat could find herself being forced into a plan whether she likes it or not. And let's not forget the wild card in all of this, Chad DiMera. If he finds out Kat's hiding something, especially if it involves another Devereaux impersonation or a connection to Gwen, it could shatter whatever fragile trust exists between them. Kat may think she's protecting herself, but silence can be just as dangerous as the truth in a town like this. So the real question is, how long can Kat keep this secret? And when it finally comes out, because it will, who will still be standing beside her? So here's where we stand. Kat Green has received a phone call that shook her entire world. She's trying to ignore it, pretend it means nothing, but deep down, we can see it. This is just the beginning. Someone is trying to pull her back into the darkness. Someone is watching, waiting, pushing her toward a decision that could define her future in Salem. And Kat is running out of places to hide. So now we ask, is Gwen Riichek truly the mastermind behind the call, and if so, what twisted scheme is she preparing? Will Kat choose to stay on the straight and narrow, or will the promise of power pull her back into dangerous territory? And when Chad inevitably finds out, will he support her, or walk away for good? Let us know in the comments, who do you think is really calling Kat? Is she a victim in the making, or a player stepping back into the game? And will she stand alone when the truth finally comes out? Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a moment of drama, mystery, or betrayal in Days of Our Lives. Because in Salem, no secret stays hidden forever, and sometimes, the quietest characters are the ones holding the loudest explosions. Stay tuned. The storm is coming.